Okay, let's actually get into it. Why we created the podcast, why we're doing this, why we thought this was a good idea. Reed, stop pointing the gun at your mouth.
Obviously, get big booty bitches. This is why we did the podcast.
Arsious is in the right mindset.
Arsious came prepared.
No, we did not do this for big booty bitches. The whole purpose of this podcast was to...
It's for big booty bitches.
No, it's not. Oh my. Okay. The reason why we created this podcast was to feature artists in the gaming community. As all of us are part of the creative side in the gaming community. We're part of Team Remember and teamremember.gg on Twitter, on Twitch. We wanted to interview the people who deserve more recognition for their artwork than what they're given.
Can I just point out the fact that Arceus's room is long as fuck? Like,
Dude, okay, look at it. It's literally an attic.
Are you above a garage?
It's an attic.
He's in the attic.
Damn. All right. Dope.
Man, so hard he sleeps with no sheets on his bed.
I was gonna say, man, this man is so tough, dude. He doesn't even need sheets.
No, I'm watching them right now.
I watched my sheets yesterday.
Why do I feel like the bloopers is gonna be longer than the actual podcast?
It is. We won't pay attention.
I don't even think it's not even gonna be edited, dude. It's a podcast.
It's gonna be slightly edited when we put clips together.
All right.
Who I guess the order doesn't matter.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Term Edits here, back with another video.
Goodness.
I do be making pixels move. That's about it. I click keyframes for 8 to 10 hours a day, and hate my fucking life.
Okay, let's actually go into like the backstory of your of like your creative career, Term.
No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
like tell us how it started.
That's
Tell
gonna
us how
be
it
cut.
started.
That's gonna be cut. Okay, so look, I'm Term. I've been editing for about 2 years, I guess. I just recently stopped sucking ass at it. So, but yeah, ever since I was like 12 or 13, I've been trying to pump out YouTube content. It was fucking horrible. So it's all unlisted. You can't find it, and you'll never be able to find it. And I mean, maybe one day, but yeah. So I always used to just like edit my trials highlights and stuff like that from when I was a little kid playing Destiny 1, you know, being a little squeaker and being fucking dog shit at the game. I was a 0.8, but so then ever since then I started editing montages on Share Factory back in the day on PlayStation, and I was like, this shit is kind of fun. It looks kind of dope using horrible songs like the default Share Factory songs and shit. Because I didn't have a USB drive. But then when I got my my computer, I was like, hold up, let me just download iMovie real quick. So I did that. And so I threw my clips into there, started editing there. Then I was like, this is fucking ass. Let me find like a program with some effects. So then I moved to Vegas. And then from Vegas, I started editing Vegas. And then a few months ago, I switched over to After Effects. And I've recently committed like everything to it, trying to grow as a brand and as an editor, trying to get a lot better. Join Team Remember because Reed's cute ass put me on because he's the most adorable individual on the fucking planet. Like, but yeah, so that happened, and then here we are today. I'm gonna be spending 8 to 12 more hours editing after this fucking podcast.
Nice. I guess that was a really quick explanation of your life's work.
There is no life's work.
Yeah, no, we're all like what, 20?
Yeah. I'm just a broke college student that makes videos and goes to work full time. So
you're just an editor, Term. Just an editor.
Yeah, I'm just an editor. Yeah. I'm just an editor and a pizza delivery boy.
Yeah. I mean, shit. I guess I'll go next because I'm like your best of bud. But
yeah.
Aww.
Yeah, that's
okay,
that's my boy.
Aww.
So yeah, I'm Akuma or AkumaSlays. I am the illustrator in this group, I guess you can call it. I draw pictures, or you can know me as just a doodler. Know me as just a doodler. I guess I started drawing a very long time ago. When I really first got into drawing was when I was actually at church one day, and I'm not sure if you guys remember. Do you guys remember the little magnet pen you used to draw with, and on a screen all like the magnets would come to it, and
you have the little swipe thing to clear it. Yeah.
Yes.
So I remember I was drawing and doodling on that, and my dad took it from me, and he drew a perfect like elk silhouette. Mind you, looking back at it now, is probably a really shit
fucking
drawing.
random.
It's probably a really shit drawing, but that's like what made me like.
For a little bit of context, his dad is like an avid hunter.
It is. He is an
He
avid
was
hunter. I don't have my white hat. Anyways, so that's where I really got into drawing and wanting to look more into that. So growing up in school, I obviously doodled a lot on my homework, and I took all the art classes all the way up to high school, and I took some like the college courses there. And I got a scholarship for, I can't remember what college it was because I'm not going to college right now because COVID. But
Can I redo mine? Because this is really good.
no, it's one take and done. You're done, Third.
One thing.
any
My college and shit.
oh my. Anyways, so after all that, I started getting into the digital world. I first bought my first digital tablet probably 2 or 3 years ago, and I've been making small doodles for like myself or like my family, just small stuff that I've been doing until the point where I had a friend of mine who actually wanted a picture done of his character in Destiny, and I drew it and I posted it on Instagram, and not Twitter, just Instagram, but that started to kind of get traction a little bit. So I started posting more and more stuff to the point where I'm posting all these little digital artworks that I've been doing the last year or so, I guess you could say. To the point
He's pretty decent.
yeah, to the point where I started doing my own thumbnails for him. So if you follow me on YouTube, you can see all the thumbnail work that's on there. I've done all my thumbnails and drawn all of them. But after that, Term got into Team Remember, as he so briefly mentioned in his life story. I got joined onto that, and Arsious was there. Arsious is our team lead. Say what's up, Arsious.
What's up, man? That's
Okay.
so weird. I paused for a second when I was
What's up, bro, man?
Gotta be
What's
so
up?
awkward,
Why,
Arsious.
man?
God damn.
What's up, bro, man?
I don't even want to say anything anymore. It's all ruined. But no. So after we're joining Team Remember, I've done a few artworks for them as well, including the Remember poster, which you guys will probably see soon, and I even did the podcast cover, which is what's going to be used to advertise the podcast. So you'll probably see it by now if you clicked on the link for us.
Well,
That
nice
is stuff
ego.
I've done. Okay, whatever you say. you wrapped your life up in 3 sentences. I took 3 paragraphs.
My life is not that eventful, bro. Chill. I live in the shadow of Term with an H in his name.
All right, so I guess that's my backstory. Who wants
That's
to go
getting
next?
cut out. That's getting cut out for sure. Look, bro, I don't know how to pace myself. Okay, we're gonna get to a point where we have to do this
it's
live.
a podcast. You sound like you're trying to briefly explain it to someone in 5 minutes.
Okay, you're right. You're so true.
It
I'm
is a
used to making
podcast.
cut comms, dude. I'm not used to talking for a long period. Actually, yeah, I am.
I was gonna say
But
I've never
still.
known you to be a person who gives a short answer.
That's
It's your
true.
podcast, dude.
I mean, I could write out my whole life story and just like read it off in a 5-paragraph essay if you'd like.
No, we're too far gone now.
Nah, it's too late. The take one's not gone.
Okay. So
All right,
we heard the Kuma life
Arsious,
story.
you're up. I know a lot about Term. Term knows a lot about me, but for Reed and Arsious, I don't know you as well as I do Term. So I'm actually really curious to see like what your guys' creative stuff or creative background was.
Oh, okay. So I'm Arsious, the graphic designer boy out here. I literally take PNGs and slap them on stuff, make it look cool. That's what I do.
Copies and pastes, fucking
Copy and
asset.
paste.
on the
Yeah.
Photoshop.
I buy the same graphic design packs over and over again from the same person over and over again. I'm just a preset designer.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
But I've been designing for 3 years now. 3 years almost. I don't know. I lost track after a while. But I actually started after seeing one of, I think it was Max's designs on Twitter. It was like that. It was like a luminosity header or something like that. That was you guys will like pop it up on the screen somewhere and something like that. I don't know.
I'll see if we can find it.
Yeah, I saw that and I thought that was dope as fuck, you know. I was like, damn, I want to learn how to do stuff like that. And then when I first started, my first couple of months, I was actually on mobile, like on my iPad and stuff like that. And I would do designs on there, which is for a long time it was like that
Break that
until
too.
Christmas. I got my first laptop. It was like a shitty ass Dell laptop, the i3. You can barely run it, anything on here. Maybe it's as bad as my Mac. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah. After that, I downloaded Photoshop, and my parents were paying for it for a long time, and I just started off in the Destiny community as like a small designer. You know, I was in smaller teams. Your boy was known as a clan hopper too. You know, I would jump from team to team, but it's because I saw like every team's graphics was kind of bad. You know, and I would try to like help them out. Maybe I made it worse. I don't know. That was just my mindset. I wanted everyone to have like really dope graphics and stuff like that, and the community be taken seriously. Because that was during the time when there was a small chance Destiny could have been an esport back then. This was 2017, towards the end of D1, I guess. You know, I don't know, but that was my ideal idea. And then my first ever serious team or clan, you can say, was what was it? I can't remember anymore. Oh, it was this team called It Had to Be Us. They were
Oh,
notorious
you
on
worked with the Had to Be Us?
I was in It Had to Be Us for a little
Nice,
bit.
nice.
I was they were really notorious for being really toxic.
Yeah. He's shaking.
Yeah. But like, if you ever got to know them, they were really cool. You know, they were always super supportive of my art in general. They were always down to pay me and stuff like that. And honestly, like, those guys are like a couple of my day ones, basically. I love those dudes. And then I shifted over to Paradox, which is like another D1 team from way back when and stuff like that. And then after I left Paradox, I went to grind for IM Crucible, you know. Everyone knows IM. And I actually got in IM 2 weeks after of straight grinding. Like every day I would post art designs every day for the team members, and I got vouchers from like Conrady, Dodge GG, pretty much the whole team wanted me in, and later on I ended up joining as like the guy who could grind out 2 weeks worth of work, you know. And I guess that's when my design career in Destiny started lifting off. You know, I was kind of known as the IM picture maker, you know. And after a while, I think like a year after joining IM, I was like, I got bored one day and I made them their new logo that they're using right now, which is, I don't know, which is really cool to me because I always thought the one that they had right now was super iconic. It could never be changed. But I guess I somehow improved it. I don't know. I still think I could still improve it, but I don't know how. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with it. I thought that was pretty cool. Couple months afterwards, I ended up meeting Guns. I've known about Guns since D1, year one back then. Like, Guns was the OG sweat, you know, and all that. And he introduced me to Team Remember and the opportunities that they had. I was basically like their second designer because there was someone there before me. And I ended up joining Team Remember, but I still affiliated with IM, you know, so it was kind of like a dual roster thing. And after that, I ended up taking like a lead role in the team from the creative side as well, which is why you heard Akuma say I'm the lead guy, you know? Yeah. It just happened out of nowhere. I decided to take action into something because the other designer wasn't really doing anything, but he still like was a valuable asset, you know? But I still respect him and all that. But I guess Gunn saw that I had some leadership skills in me and I was able to like motivate a team or whatever, which I don't know how. I'm like the laziest one in this team now.
And you destroy things all the time.
You guys
Yeah.
having
He
cronies.
threw a Bakugan in his laptop.
I'm sorry.
And oh, actually no, Reed was in there.
What color are my eyes? I just had a stroke.
What?
Blue. Thank you.
Okay, they're blue.
What the hell was that?
And then while being in Team Remember, I met Reed, which was the biggest blessing ever. Like, I love that guy to death. That is literally my remember best friend. Literally.
Hey, fuck you, dog.
Yeah, what the
This
hell?
man this guy's literally like the most talented person I've ever seen. Like I remember seeing his stuff back then and seeing all the Star Wars shit. I thought it was really corny, but once I saw like the amount of like work that he put into it, I thought
Don't
it was
hype him up, dude. Don't hype him up. All he does is go wrist models and then rotates the camera, bro. It's not that serious.
He's all like, don't expose me. Don't expose me.
I know, right?
And later on and remember I ended up picking up term, helping out to pick up term because they ended up asking me. I'm like, I don't know anything about editing. I don't know why they're asking me, but yeah.
I shot some huge vouches for term.
Yeah, I
You
saw
did, bro. And
I
that
saw-
shit really just like, okay, just to kind of on a more serious note, like elaborate a little bit on that, like because I kind of just took mine as a meme, but like my explanation as a meme. But so like that was like, I don't know, dude. I kind of felt as if it was kickstarting my career in a way. Like that shit. Like I was doing a commission for somebody named Steezy, a pretty good friend of mine. And I was in the middle of doing that, and I think Vasquez or somebody tweeted something out about looking for an editor, and Steezy was like, "Hey, at Term Edits, he's the GOAT," or something like that. And I was like, "Yo, chill, dude. You don't gotta be that nice. Like, come on, because nobody has really ever done anything like that for me." And then Reed sees that. I don't know how he sees that, but he's like, you said you added Vasquez and was like vouch, and Vasquez asked me to send him some stuff, so I sent him some stuff, and then I was live streaming at the time, so Reed goes into my live stream and was like, "Hey, dude, we want to talk to you in the Discord later." I was like, "What?" and then I was like, "Huh? Say less," because like obviously I knew everybody, or I knew about everybody in Remember, and like I understood how big of a deal it was to me, like, and so like everybody there, because I don't know, that's just like that's a big goal of mine has always been to join a major team, and a team that like with creators with the same amount of ambition as I have. So it's really cool to see somebody vouch for me in that way and to put me on like that. And everybody in Remember is like a super amazing person, super supportive. So yeah, that's a little bit better version of that section of my life story.
Definitely like the second one a lot better.
Yeah.
I mean, I could redo the first part if you'd like me to.
No, the first part's
Nah,
going
nah,
in,
nah.
and then I'm just gonna put the second part after.
We're in the middle of my story, man. You can't.
Yeah, I forgot, dude. I'm sorry. Damn.
Nah, it's okay. It's okay.
This
No,
is
you're
so
good, bro.
scuffed.
Oh god, where was I? Oh, so I met Term, and I ended up really liking him right away because he gave off this really energetic vibe. Like he wanted this, you know. He really wanted to be in Team Remember, wanted like to be the best, you know. And that's always been my goal in mind with this creative team, to have like the best, like all around graphics, videos, 3D stuff, illustrations, everything, man. Like that's always been my goal with this. I told Guns this since like the very beginning. Like if you want me in, you gotta give me like some sort of like responsibility, and you gotta understand my goal is to make this the best team ever. Because a while back it would have been Exile, to be honest. Exile,
Bro,
had Prodigy.
Exile didn't get enough.
Oh.
Exile did not get enough light for what they were, dude.
Yeah.
I love
They had the
all the
most,
guys in Exile.
like diverse and like a dense amount of content creators ever. Like I don't know, dude. They just didn't. That's actually, we could probably dedicate a whole episode to Exile, because like that's exactly the point of this podcast, is like Exile was a team. If you didn't know, and if you didn't know, I feel sorry for you, but
You missed out on the best
you
days.
missed out on the best days of Destiny, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's so many people from Exile that were the best in the game at one the game like Destiny, and also at editing and content creation, like art, things like that. But it just didn't get enough light because creatives are slept on in this community, and that's like the entire point of the podcast for the most part. It's like, yeah, Revere, Solve, like all these teams that just didn't, or Revere's still going, but like Exile's still going, but it's not as active anymore, and like things like that, like Solve died, and like it's just, if teams like that had more light on them, like I don't know, man, Destiny would be even more insane right now. Like people would have careers like that they, I don't know. It's just Destiny's kind of like a dead end game at the moment,
like,
because
in Destiny 1, like year 1, or year 2, there was a kid in Solve whose name was Boston, the Legend of Boston. The man was so good. He got to a point where he could, he had learned so much from working and playing Destiny and editing and all that he just straight up went, shit, I'm gonna go be a visual effects editor. And now the dude, he's gone, he's left us, but he's insane.
I feel like
dude,
I want more Boston.
There are so many more success stories like that, dude.
It's true.
Like so many more
Yeah.
people that started off in places like Exile that are just like they just couldn't move forward with Exile because of the community that we're a part of, or just like the way that the community reacts to things like montages. Like I don't think you realize, like, Victus or Grizzin, like
Yeah, those are my boys.
that dude literally it seems like every game that kid's hitting a 7th column. Like it's like there are people that are so good but just don't get enough light. Like it's insane. And then like Bert and Ducky, like all of them, like insane players.
We can talk more about this later, but let's talk a read and then we'll get into more like off-topic subjects.
Okay. So what's up? My name is Reed. I own my own company. I'm a visual effects artist and 3D generalist. I started 3 years ago in November. I've been in the film industry for almost a decade now, but I've just recently gotten into the 3D. And my buddy, we had 4 months until state competition, and he needed a second guy, just to fill the void. And he asked me, "Hey, do you think you'd be willing to sign up and do this competition?" And that was 4 months before the comp started, and I blindly said yes. I fell in love. We placed first, and then went on to nationals. I got kicked off. That was a long story. And then the following year, I did the same competition alone and won, and I won nationals as well for 3D. So I think it's been since February of 2020, I haven't gone a single day without Blender. I haven't used Blender or After Effects
Until he had food poisoning.
until I had food poisoning, but even then I was on my phone. And I had Live Link to my computer. So I still technically had it, and I used it a little bit. But I've just been working nonstop. And in July, near my birthday, I had been saving money to get a motion capture suit, and I finally was able to buy one. And then everything just kind of shifted. And I had an opportunity to work with the guys over at Remember, and I really enjoyed the vibes. I really enjoyed the people that were in the team, Guns especially, and Vaz. And it was at the beginning of the creation of Remember. And I was like, hell yeah, I want to join. So I became the 3D lead for Remember. So I do like their 3D animations that will be going into videos that they end up posting later. So be on the lookout for those. But I'm currently working on a short film, and it's gonna be pretty sweet, hopefully.
What's your short film called? Explain what your short film is and what it's about.
So my short film name is Vengeance, and it'll be around 7 to 8 minutes long, and it focuses on a guardian who managed to escape after the Red War. So he doesn't know that the light is back. So he's still, without powers. He doesn't have a super, all that shit. But in his travels, in his voyage away from the tower and straying from the light, he now wields the ability to have multiple exotics. So he's pretty badass looking. And you'll also find that he became an exo. And there's some story that I've got planned out. There is a romantic relationship intertwined between this whole thing. And I've been working strangely close with some people over at Bungie in terms of developing the story, making sure that my the final product that you see is scientifically accurate. So I think it's weird that I can say I'm working with people at Bungie on something that is a passion project for me, and hopefully it demonstrates all of my skills so that I can hopefully get hired at Bungie. So that would be pretty sweet. Yeah, like I said, I've been doing this for about 3 years, but it's only truly been like Destiny work for a year and a half now.
That's unreal. Like I'm really excited to see how your Vengeance stuff comes out, because I've seen bits and pieces of it and it looks like literally movie quality. It looks super good. I can't wait for it to come out.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been posting tests recently so that people know like the kind of detail, because the previous short film that I've worked on, the previous video that I worked on, Despair, was a 3 a.m. brain fart in which I wanted to demonstrate my motion capture skills to my good friend Solar Flare on Twitter. And I jokingly said, "Hey, do you want to see how the suit works?" And he said, "Sure." And I worked on Despair for about 5 days, and here I am now.
And didn't it get movie of the week, or was that a different one?
No, I haven't won movie of the week on my own.
I thought you did.
No.
Really?
No, I have not won movie of the week. I won it. I did a thumbnail for Exile Empire, and I made it look really realistic, because that's my kind of vibe.
Poppins video.
Yeah, the Poffins video. Man, the ending of that makes me tear up every time.
Yeah.
Every time. But yeah, my goal is to make Destiny look realistic, because I think in real life that would be super sweet. So I'm taking the time to make sure that my science is right, my math is correct in everything that I render, so that when you look at it, you kind of go, "Oh shit, is that live action or not?" Like my rain scene that I recently posted, I had a few comments of people asking if it was live action. So I think it's working.
It's very sick. I definitely like the rain one. How many views was that getting? Because I remember me and Tim were watching it for a minute too.
It's at 72,000 now.
Yeah, dude, that's insane.
So
the amount of exposure, like it's this kind of things for Destiny. It's kind of a new thing. It's simply
I'm Blue Man for a second. I'm back.
Okay, but yeah, it's kind of a new thing actually, simply for the fact that things like model rips weren't really as easy until for example Destiny 2 came to PC.
Yeah,
and then just like the sky's the limit with the amount of things that you can do, and you can see like the thumbnail game for people skyrocketed ever since it came to PC, and then because people just use 3D mock-ups and models in their thumbnails and things like that, and then obviously people using like mocap and things like that to make their short films. And you've probably seen people like Drexus and then Reed and people like that just absolutely go crazy. I think even Lua was doing like stuff with 3D.
Yeah. Lua and I have a few projects lined up together.
So like there's just so much stuff that's the sky's the limit with it. Essentially,
yeah,
kind of like editing. It's you can kind of, if you think of something, you can create it with 3D, which is awesome.
Yeah. It's really just the friendliness that you have with the software.
Yeah.
Then I mean, like I'll be working on something actively for a few hours and then go, "Oh shit, I don't know what I'm doing," and then I'll leave, come back, and my brain will go, "You know where that is." Go find it. Like the two most recent posts, one of me using facial motion capture, and then converting my face data to a robot, and then the transmat effect for the Sparrow. Both of those solutions came to me in a dream. So I kind of woke up and went, "Oh shit, I know what to do now."
Dude, that came to you in a dream. Reed's prodigy. Reed's a prodigy.
Yeah, Reed's like
a prodigy.
Yeah, I literally. It was funny because I had to explain, because like I ran downstairs this morning, but I woke up and the dream was I saw myself writing down on a piece of paper the order in which I needed to do things, and then I held up the piece of paper and put it on my monitor, and then I said, "Okay, we're good." And then I woke up.
This is some witchcraft shit.
Yeah, it was weird.
Dude,
But
next time I lose my keys, I'm just gonna call up Reed, be like, "Yo, go to sleep real quick. Where I leave my keys?"
Yeah, and then like once I got onto my computer and started working on it, I was like, everything that I saw in my dream is exactly where it was or where it is in Blender, and I was able to quickly toss things together. And now I have this full system set up. I know how to use it. I know how to troubleshoot it in the event that something breaks, because it's all stuck in here. Which
Well, that's kind of a thing. Like your mind doesn't stop. Your mind doesn't stop wandering wandering whenever you go to sleep. Like you still have an active mind for the most part. Like a lot of people get their creative inspiration from things like dreaming or like
in the
just,
shower.
like sitting. Yeah, that's literally what I was about to say. Sitting down in the shower and just like chilling. Like your mind is able to like wander and you can come up with a lot more ideas. You feel like this creative, I don't know, drive or something whenever you're in these places that are like peaceful to you. That's why people like sing in the shower and shit. I'd be singing Katy Perry in the shower, bro. I feel like I could sing better than anybody. Same
That's
shit.
why
Dude.
like I love like the creative design, no, the creative industry so much. Like in general, whether it be the gaming, the industry, anything, you know, whether you be at home doodling shit or randomly it'd be like Reed and making some very interactive stuff with the 3D things, you know, and designing and editing some fucking frames together and all that.
Okay.
Literally, like the limits are there are no limits. That's what's nuts. You know, I can make whatever I want on Photoshop, on AE, on anything. To be honest, and that's what I love so much.
Wait a second. So you can make whatever you want, but you still can't make a good thumbnail? No, I'm playing. I'm right. No, please.
Okay. Okay.
On a serious note, though, I definitely understand that, like, where you just get creative ideas from, and then that was stuff like with me for illustration that happens all the time, where I'd be sitting down and I'll be not having a voice crack, but I'll be sitting down somewhere, like let's say like a restaurant or something, and I'll see like a scene or a couple like sitting at dinner or something, and that gives me an idea to draw, you know, certain scenarios or certain scenes or certain characters. And even like going like on like the train, there's no trains in Utah, but I've been on a train before, and I remember one specifically where it was like a grandpa and a grandma, and they just like look really cute, but they're old and they're like old fashioned. Like their clothes were like different. She had a basket, which was like, you know, why have a basket here? You can have like a sack or something, or a purse or whatever. So it's like very like old timey, but like the thought of having of like this future modern like train, but like these people who are like from old like country back type of vibe, if that makes sense. It's cool to see like that different perspective, or just see like these creative ideas come from a place like this for illustration. And even like when I was doing doodles back when I was in high school, doing doodles on paperwork, something that is like doodle. Shut up.
Herb is just, he has no filter today, man. He's just going off on everyone.
It's true.
No, bro, I'm just trying to be a personality. Let me pipe down real quick.
But I'll take from the doodles that I would do at school, and then I would apply them to something bigger. Like I now doodle at work a lot when it's kind of like slow or like a downtime. And you can see like on my Instagram like a bunch of the stuff that I've like doodled on, and then they turn into something bigger. Like my thorn one, which I'll probably pop up like right here, came from a little sketch that I did at work, and I had the idea to create this big piece of which was the thorn one.
It's just like maybe that would look cool.
That's really all creative process is just like saying, hey, this might look cool. Let me like throw that shit on there and see how it looks, and then
It's always what ifs.
Yeah,
Like,
true.
Like
that's my biggest thing for anyone trying to get into like anything creative is just do it. Like go like it. There's no point in getting into something creative if you're just constantly copying, because at that point like try to do something that you like to do, like even if that is just like trying to emulate someone else's thing, but like try to do something different, like throw something like I don't know, like sometimes like it'll look like shit and I'll just throw random ass things onto an edit and it'll look horrible. But then like sometimes I'll throw random stuff on there and it'll look dope. Like same thing with Raph. He likes to copy and paste assets and put them on his on his on his stuff. And sometimes it looks dope. I don't know. It's just, I think that's something we should get into in like an episode, is like the creative process and things like that.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
Going, I guess not necessarily off topic, but to like the next section, just about like creative things that we all have in common. Like I remember someone asking me on Instagram the other day if I was ever, just because I'm a creative type, if I ever got into instruments. Do you guys play any instruments or anything like that?
I played the baritone, trombone, the trumpet, piano. What else did I play?
Holy shit.
Tuba and a saxophone. But I don't play. What? I was extremely good at the baritone, which is just like a miniature tuba, so it required less effort, but it gave around the same sound. I was first seat in, what was it? I don't even remember what they called it, because it was in like 10th grade or whatever. But I was first seat. That was pretty badass.
What about you, Arsious? Do you ever play like instruments or anything like that?
No, I've never been like attracted to playing an instrument or something like that, but I will have like beats or like just music in the background because it helps with my flow when I'm by myself. But when I'm with people, that actually like helps me like throw out ideas, because I like picking people's minds and like throwing ideas on there. Like even with the podcast poster, I was a little bit stuck a little bit, and then Akuma was throwing out ideas and we ended up making it work, you know? Like it was just like a collaboration. That's why I love doing like collaboration things in general, whether it be like a header or something like that, or maybe even making a header move, which term decided to blow off my idea.
I didn't. Wait, what? What idea? Whose idea? Wait, no. On a serious note, like, what are we talking about here? Like, whose header did I not make move?
Your own.
My header? Oh, yeah. It's just because I didn't have a world asset. I didn't feel like using Video Copilot's world plugin to make a world.
Yeah. Excuses. But yeah, whether it be music or even sometimes I'll just doodle. You know, I have a sketchbook really like over there in my room somewhere, and I like to draw in the middle of the night and just throw out ideas when I can't design. You know,
I definitely get that.
For me, I never like played any instruments or anything. Actually, I did. I played guitar when I was like all the way through middle school and stuff like that. But then I kind of just, I don't know, that shit hurts your fingers and things like that. And I'm lazy as hell, so I stopped it. But music itself has always been extremely impactful and influential in my life. Like, I mean, what is an edit without music? You know, like that's I would always hear a song.
Frames.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. So I would always hear songs, and I'd be like, dude, I want to make my my gameplay to this. That's where it all really started out. I was like, I think one of my first edits, I was like, it was like a Drake song. It got muted and deleted on YouTube because YouTube sucks, but and like copyright and stuff. But I would always hear songs and I'd be like, okay, I really like this song. I'm gonna make something to this. And I think editors have like pay more attention to like beats and then flow and things like that a lot more than I would say a lot of the average people do. Just simply for the fact that it's kind of our job to match the flow of a gameplay to the flow of the song. So like that's all I'm doing for like I said, I'm a pizza delivery driver. I sit in my car all day, so that's all I'm doing for 12 hours a day is listening to music. Now I just think about like how I could edit something to the song, or I'm like, okay, yeah, I really like this song. It has this kind of flow. I could do this with it, and then I'm just constantly thinking about different cinematics and things like that I could do with it, and different like abstract ideas. And I don't know, it's really cool. I love music.
I definitely get that. Like, listening to multiple songs on end, trying to find like the right vibe or the right flow or something.
Yeah, even any editor will, sorry. Yeah,
like even like videos I make, like I listen to a bunch of songs trying to figure out like which one's good. And even like my outro, which I just changed, which was on the vlog that me and you made last week, but last week is yesterday for us because this is gonna be like in a week's time that we upload this. But I definitely get the vibe of like trying to find the correct song that fit like the recording that you do, or just like the edits that you do, because I know that you make montages and other just like.
I mean, I want to move to more
videos.
diverse things because like I want to move to a more diverse platform. Like that's why I've been trying to incorporate things like 3D text and stuff like that into my edits. But like it's like something I don't know. It's difficult, but it's really hard to just make it as a montage editor. You know what I'm saying? 4A did it really well. There's a couple other people who have done just montages and stuff really well. But if you look at all the big people right now, they do multiple things. Look at the other term, right? He does 3D stuff, he makes thumbnails, he does graphic design, he does editing, he does a little bit of everything. Then you have Luo, he does he does editing, he does 3D, he does graphic design. You got like a lot of big people do multiple things, so it's very difficult to just settle for one. So that's why I'm trying to get more into it. But on the song thing, like you were saying a second ago, finding a song takes hours sometimes. Like I don't think people understand. Like a lot of people will, if I'm just making an edit for myself, I'll spend like 2-3 hours just looking for a song because with finding the song, you also set the pace for the entire video, and then you also have to envision how you want it to go in your head. So it can take you a long time scrolling through SoundCloud songs and YouTube songs, stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm sure there's similar prep to things like art and 3D. You have hours of just planning and story, like I don't know, build up, and then you have to develop your storyboard. Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. But yeah, I
definitely get that with like a lot of reference photos. Like if I'm trying to like find like a certain position or a certain pose or like a certain type of like image, it definitely takes a long time to find out that correct like reference photo, because obviously I, as an illustrator, I draw a lot from reference or other people's pictures or artwork or whatever. But I definitely understand like why it takes such a long time just to find that correct piece that just makes everything fit. And sometimes you'll find something and you'll work on that, and then you'll find something later that works even better.
Jaren, look at my screen.
I just commissioned that person, by the way.
Yeah,
Holy
awesome.
shit.
And that's
That is
crazy.
Disney quality. What the?
I just commissioned them.
I don't know, like
That's
people
sick.
like this dude like deserves
That's
more.
so insane.
Deserves way more spotlight. And the thing is, you look at this and you'd be like, dude, that's probably like $100 or something like that, because I don't want to pay for something like that, bro. This man charges $40 for this, right? $40 for
Dude, I'm paying more.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I said, I'm sending you at least 60, and he was like,
Yeah,
no.
I'm sending him 70.
And get this, he was like, if you send me 60, I'm gonna donate the rest to charity. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
chill. take
I'm gonna
my money, pay your rent.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of him for having.
You might watch this podcast, and if you do watch this podcast, dude, you're insane. Keep
Raise your prices.
grinding.
Raise your prices.
Raise your prices.
Raise your prices.
It takes 10 minutes, and I make $150.
Yeah,
Raise your prices.
yeah. Promise you, dude. If you raise your prices, you're gonna for one, you'll have a lot more people that like see your work as like I'll say I'm not saying that it's not quality. It's really fucking good. But if people see that you have high prices, they'll understand that it's because you have high quality work.
Yeah,
and that's something obviously we'll get into at a later day, because pricing is very, very important to commission work and
this is
to
what
selling a brand.
This is what I sent her or him.
That's a guy. Yeah.
It is a guy. Okay. I didn't see a he, him, her thing up in the bio. I was very confused. But no, I sent that photo of me and my girl. So that should be poggers.
Going back on that music thing actually really quickly.
Oh shit. Hold up.
Like even
Stop
just
trimming
thinking
too.
about it, like I'm not an editor, but I'll listen to a song and I will imagine like clips in my head or semantics, you know, which is insane, you know. It just shows like anyone can have that creative flow, you know what I mean? Whether it be a design or something like that. Even like on a poster, I could imagine what I would do better, like a movie poster and stuff like that, or like a
Yeah.
drawing that I see, you know. Maybe like there's like this one little line that I would fix, you know, or even like a 3D scene. Like I low-key have dreams of like 3D scenes in my head, and I'm like, what the hell? I kind of wish I can do that, but I can't because, you know, I have a shit computer. But maybe one day. But just like, if you don't think you have creative flow, like that's wrong, you know. I personally think that anyone can be creative, you know? Like you just have to go out of your way to learn the software and figure it out how to do everything, you know? Which is not hard, you know? Like Photoshop's easy to learn. I don't know about Blender or AE or anything like that. That might be a little bit more difficult, but Photoshop's
Blender is a completely different ballgame. I mean, I will help you.
AE
I will offer to help.
AE is learnable fast. It's just there's so much stuff going on that it's like I
It
don't know.
can
If
be
you're transitioning from a different editing software, obviously you're gonna have you're gonna have a lot more or a lot easier time than if you're just straight up just trying to pick up editing, go straight into After Effects, because After Effects is a professional program. You know, it's like same with Blender. It's like that kind of stuff is something professional that it takes time to learn. If it didn't, then everyone would be professionals.
What's going on with Arsious?
I don't know, dude.
What is he doing?
He has died.
Stop streaming turn, by the way.
Oh, my bad.
While we're waiting for Arsious, let's talk more about just the creative scene on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube, and like how hard or easy it is for someone to grow as being a creative type, whether it be illustration, 3D motion, editing. How did you guys grow your brand to get to the point where you're getting a bunch of commissions now versus trying to get just one commission, taking whatever commission you just got, even if it was something that was not even in your style?
So if you're on Twitter, I don't recommend it often unless if you know you have the skills that people are into. But like every once in a while, find somebody who's, you know, got their connections and, you know, just offer them something. Be like, hey, it's not in a way that's like just trying to build your business, but it's also a way for you to test your skills. So like I did work for Will J and I helped him out because he needed new stuff. And I was like, okay, I need to practice new stuff. Easy. Because if I'm practicing, I can offer it as a free service and then he will, you know, hopefully be like, hey, look, I got this work done from this guy. Shoot him a message or whatever. Yeah. And that's kind of how it went down. I would just shoot people messages and be like, hey, look, I'm trying to learn a new thing. If I was to do a project for you, your project would have the new thing that I'm trying out. Is that okay? And more often than not, they'd be like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, go for it.
I definitely get that too, because when I was first starting out with like drawing or digital work, I did a lot of like just free stuff. Not necessarily for people, but like I would just post random stuff, like random thumbnails. Like thumbnails I still have not even used, that I still have. Like the Thorn one that I mentioned earlier, I still have not found a use for it. And I still haven't even used it. I just drew it again because it was from like a little doodle that I did at work. I just like, oh, let me just turn this into something. But I haven't used it. I just posted it and people liked it.
Yeah, that one's pretty.
What about you, Term? From the editing aspect of things.
What about it? I'm sorry, I was kind of just messaging the Scrublets guy about the final product thing.
Starting out.
How do you grow?
Yeah, how do you grow as an editor and get commissions very early?
So, I would say don't worry about commissions until you feel confident in your own work. Until you're at a place where you can do it time efficiently and you can until you know how to work with people, because people are complicated. Like people are very complicated, and until like you don't want to be working with somebody, they give you a task that you don't know how to do. So when you get like, I would say
those are the fun ones though.
Those are fun. Those are fun. But I'll say if you pull it off, dude, then you're a goat, right? You're like you did something amazing. But if you don't pull it off, then you leave the customer dissatisfied, and then that could lead to controversy with that customer. It really just depends. Like that's obviously like a drastic example, and obviously like I've been through commission struggles before, right? Like I just had kind of a recent struggle that I'm not going to go into right now, but yeah. So basically I'll say, if you want to get into editing, as a career or as a hobby or anything, start off learning like the process, right? Like there's, I think Crispy Senpai, for example, has a good video about it. His video is really good about learning to edit with After Effects. You could learn Vegas to start off, just so if you wanted to learn Vegas, then you could or like DaVinci Resolve or something like that, or Premiere, and then later go into an effects-based program like After Effects. I think that would be beneficial. But or you could just jump straight into After Effects, but you're gonna be like, what the fuck am I looking at? I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
So be patient with it. It takes time. It takes me about 5 to 6 hours to edit like 1 minute of footage, depending on like what is in that footage. Like if it's a highlight video, obviously I whip the whole thing up in like 3 hours. But like if it's just like if it's like a full-fledged montage, it takes time. So be patient with it. If you're not a patient person at all, I wouldn't recommend the editing side of things, simply for the fact that it's going to be very stressful. And that's another thing, taking commissions. It's stressful. It's very stressful. Pace yourself. Learn how many commissions you can take at a time. I have a really good friend named Ahmed. He takes like 5 commissions at a time, and I'm sitting here. I struggle with 3. So it's like it really just depends on you as the person, how fast your workflow is, and how experienced you are. Maybe take 1 commission every month or something like that. It's starting out, just to learn how to work with people. Maybe take take as many as you want. Actually, it's your business, and if you want to, you just got to learn how to pace yourself.
Yeah, you got to go at your own pace. Kind of business.
Go at your own pace. Like Akuma, he takes 3 years to finish 1 drawing, so he may take 1 commission at a time.
Yeah,
Arsious, I don't know how many commissions he takes. He's kind of just the GOAT, you know.
Oh, my bad. I had to go do something.
What are we talking about? We're kind of just talking about getting into our different fields and like what's it like, what it's like, and then how to take commissions and things like that, and growing your brand.
And how
the most amount of commissions.
Yeah.
The record amount of commissions that I had stacked up in 1 month, I had 10 I was taking on at one time. Yeah, I finished all of them within a week.
I had 6 this summer.
All 10 of them were done in 1 week, and I made a lot.
Yeah.
I think
each one was 150, and it took me an hour and a half to do them all.
I think it was like 8 for me, and I made like 800. I think that week it was a lot.
Also, I would say when you've been editing for a while and get to the point where you feel like you can take commissions, put a price tag or a value on your work that you think is appropriate. Obviously, you don't want to charge someone like $100 per minute for a montage, unless you feel like you're at that skill level. If you've been doing it for a long time, there's a lot of demand for your work, then you can do something like that. But I'd say start out pretty cheap, but don't like get scammed, you know what I'm saying? Don't charge like $5 for a video unless it's like a commentary video, I guess. But I'm sure there are a lot of videos out there. I'm not like big into business or anything like that. I'm sure there's a lot of videos out there about how to grow a brand and how to price your freelance work. But freelancing is not easy. That's why not too many people do freelancing, I guess. Oh, I don't think there are. I could be completely wrong. I could get clowned right now, but freelancing is not easy. You're your own boss, so you decide your own stuff. If you don't get your clients, then that's your own fault. If you do get clients, then do what you can to make them happy. I don't know. Jaren, what's it? Or you already explained what it's like getting clients and stuff like that for art, right?
Yeah, and it's weird for illustration because a lot of people want like a certain style. They're like, oh, I want you to draw this and like this kind of style. And it's more specifically harder for artists to draw something that's outside of their style because it takes a lot longer time to figure out what that style is and how to actually draw it well. So like for me, I hate drawing anime. I don't like drawing anime. I've done anime commissions before, and I don't like what the outcome was, to say the least. I guess that also really defines like what a good artist is versus like a bad artist, if there is such a thing, because art is obviously the way that you perceive it. But for illustration and like commission purposes, I guess the way that you could define one artist better than another artist is by how diverse their stuff is, like how easy they can take one style to a whole different style. Like what's his name? Famous Destiny artist.
Paji?
No, not Paji. Gamma Trap. He does like these crazy detailed, dark, like really scary looking work, but he can also draw perfect anime and perfect portraits. He's very diverse with his work, even though he has his own style. He is a good artist because he does so many different other styles of like artistry. For me, I draw in like my own style, which is 2 to 3 different type of styles, which is okay. And most of the styles consist of just different shading in each one of them. But I definitely get like how hard it can be for an artist to start out, especially when they're trying to do commissions and get like people to come like pay for their work, because all these people want artwork in a certain style than what they're not used to. And Term knows I've done art commissions where they wanted it in a different style, and I did it, but it took a long time and I did not want to do it because it's so foreign to me.
So for design, I guess it's a little bit more differently for everyone. I don't know how it is for, well, listening to the term, it was like significantly different. But all things have one thing in common, is connections in general, especially with design. Yeah, nice blue. You turned into a Smurf.
My camera shuts off every 30 minutes, that's why.
You're good. So basically with design, it's all about connections and who you know, which is why when you're doing, if you're gonna get into graphic design in general or anything, it's good to do things for your friends, you know, when you're first starting off, even, or stuff for yourself as well. But I would recommend doing more stuff for your friends, because that stuff gets around faster.
True.
Like, let's say I made like a basic banner for my friend, and he goes down with other people, and more people are going to find out about it. You're going to get more requests and stuff like that. You might have to do it for free for a little bit, but
yeah, I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah. But later on, you're going to have so much demand where you're going to have to start charging for it, you know, and stuff like that, and start valuing your work, which is what happened.
That's something I will say is very true. Actually, I never really had that many commissions, and if I did, it's because I reached out to the person and was like, "Hey, can I do a video for you?" They'd be like, "Yeah, for sure." Or like obviously like Steezy and them, they reached out to me and asked me because they were friends of mine. And if I ever did commissions, it was just for friends. But since joining Remember and stuff like that, when more people get to see you, and like for example, like, and I don't mean this in any way, like my followers went up like 4 times in the last couple months, and it like more people start seeing your work, then more people will start wanting your work, and more people will message you and be like, "Hey dude, what are your prices?" and stuff like that. So at that point, like when you're starting out, you're gonna want to take like a bunch of commissions. Like every commission someone offers, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, sure, I'll definitely do that commission for sure." But you gotta learn to just like not like, you gotta turn people down every once in a while because you have too much on your plate, things like that, because you're gonna overwhelm yourself.
I definitely understand that.
Yeah, I got sick. I was sick for a while because I worked too hard. I was oh man, I don't even remember, but it was recent, and I had just been working, and then I sat and went, "Oh man, I feel horrible. I haven't slept. I need to eat." It was not fun.
Do you think that's the reason why I see a lot of people on Twitter and on Instagram where they have like their commissions open for maybe a day, and then they have their commissions closed for weeks? Because they just get so slammed, and it's so hard to keep up with your regular job, like your day job, because obviously maybe Reed is his own business, but most of us, we have our day job, we have like a little break in between, and then we go do our second job, which is the job we prefer. And it doesn't even feel like a job, but since we're so beat from a long day at regular work,
it becomes a job.
Yeah, it becomes a chore.
Like, look at people, like, I can't speak for Twist because I don't really know Twist, but like he's on a team, right? And that team gives him work to do. And then on top of that, he may have personal commissions he's doing. So his commissions may be open for like a week or so when he's done with all of them. But then they go right back to being closed as soon as he gets his fill of his amount of work that he had, like that he wants, and then he closes them. I don't know how many they are. I mean, obviously we may have him on the show and he may like talk about it a little bit more, but you get your amount of commissions and you close your commissions. That way you can get those done and not have to worry about anything else. Like a lot of people, you'll see a lot of people, it'll actually be in their bio, so you don't have to DM them and stuff like that, and you don't have to ask them. It'll be in their name or their bio, like commissions open or closed. Yeah, that way they don't get overwhelmed, because it is overwhelming. Like if you think about it, for an editor specifically, I can't speak for you guys because obviously I'm not I don't do GFX or 3D, but like 1 minute of footage, like 5 hours, right? Just let's just say that as a baseline.
Yeah.
Let's say you have 5 projects to do, right? And let's say those are each like 2-minute projects. That's 10 hours and then times the 5, so that's like 50 hours of work, right? That's like a whole entire work week for some people, or for most people,
Maybe
right?
more people.
That's yeah, and then not to mention you also want to get it done in a timely manner for the person. So and then for example, like us, you want to get that done, and it's something that you do on the side, right? You also have your 50-hour work week that you're also doing. So it's not that easy. So if an artist ever has their commissions closed, that's probably wise, because they have it's not something that you just instantly whip together.
And that's also like the reason why I never like message those type of artists to have their commissions closed, and like reach out to me like, hey, when's your commissions gonna be open? Because it's so hard to figure out when that's actually gonna be. Right now I have my commissions open, but that's mostly because I'm only working with a few of them at the same time, and then I'll close it out again. But I'd never like want to like burden someone with a message saying like that, because then they feel like, oh yeah, I have to open it up just because of that reason. Because I think just people get way too burnt out, because obviously, like I was saying before, artists have most likely just a day job because they're probably not doing it full time, unless of course they're signed with like a team, or they're signed with a person that does YouTube and they want constant stuff from them. And I follow a bunch of people on Twitter that are like that, but they never do commissions for anyone. It's just more specific to the person they're signed with.
And there are stories of people in the community like that have been doing art for a long time that just got burnt out, so they stopped.
Yeah,
that's like such a sad thing, because their art was such a like
Floozy.
Yeah, exactly. Like Floozy. But I was in a call with Floozy the other day, and I was trying to talk to him about things, and he's like, his stuff is really insane, and he's getting back into things. But like even Ahmed, right? ESK, or Esk or whatever. Like his stuff is really, really good. But he also was in the military. I don't think that's anything that he cares people here knowing about, but he was in the military, right? And he just finished his service, and he's like, after he finishes his like 7 commissions that he has, he may want to take a break. And if he wants to take a break, that's extremely, like, that's justified, because like it's extremely taxing and tiring. Like the commissions, it's fun, it's hella fun, but it's so tiring, and I don't think people get that.
Yeah, especially like, well, I don't know about you guys, but especially with like my field, I feel like graphic designers in general, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I really do get shit on a lot, just because like people just see it as a picture. You know what I mean? They don't see like the point of it. They don't see the value in it. I even had, like, I'm not gonna say who, but I've had a team member also tell me that, and I almost don't even want to do the work for him, but he paid me, so I'm gonna do it for him, right? But it's like, I just not seeing the value in general and how much time is put into that stuff. Like, you would like an average like header would be done in like 2 hours, but for me it takes a lot longer, just because with other creatives too, we have a standard for ourselves. We have the standard of like, we should keep up the same amount of work and stay consistent with it. But it's so hard, because that leads to like overthinking the project or whatever, and then you're gonna have to step back, and that takes a little bit longer. You know, it's like there's so much more than just moving pictures and putting them together and making them look nice with a filter.
yeah.
You know,
Unless it's Arsious, because that's all he does. No, I'm just kidding.
You're that one team member.
this whole thing, Term has been shitting on me.
I'm shitting on everybody.
I definitely get that. Even like the stuff that I do for YouTube, like the edits that I make, they're not crazy edits, and they don't look like they're crazy edits, but it takes a long time to edit these videos, because the edits that you're making are split seconds. Split seconds make like all the difference, make something a lot more funnier when you're doing edits. But I can only imagine what that's like for a Term, because he works obviously so hard on just seconds of video and then obviously someone would say something like that, like, oh, all you do is just this or this or this. They don't see the time and commitment that it takes to do something like that.
And obviously criticism is not something that's bad. Like, everybody likes criticism. There's just ways to do it. Like, I know I have so much to learn because I just, to put it in perspective, I just switched to After Effects a couple months ago, so I'm still learning a lot of the different effects. I have visions in my head of things that I want to do. I just don't know how to execute them yet.
Yeah.
Or if something's not as clean as it would have been if someone else did it, someone that's been doing After Effects for, I don't know, a year or 2 years, for example, then it's not the fact that the artist or the editor doesn't know how to do it. It's just the fact that it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just, and you'll see a lot of edits, like you'll see heavy effects in the beginning, and then it kind of just like tapers out because people get so burnt out.
Yeah.
It takes forever. You just want to get the project out sometimes.
Yeah, I definitely understand that as well. But like even going back to what we were talking about with like criticism, it's especially online, it's like you're dumb and you're wrong. But I'm like, okay, I'm okay with that, but tell me why I'm dumb and I'm wrong. So it's like you're dumb and you're wrong, and this is why. It's because if you're just dumb and wrong, it's just insulting. That's not a critique. That's just insulting. But if you critique or insult, I guess you could say, and then explain how to do it better, that's more critiquing, because then you actually get like a learning experience from it. Because critiquing is obviously meant to, you're supposed to learn from your critiques. If you don't learn anything, you're just dumb and you're wrong. You can't. It's just a diss.
I mean, and obviously you're gonna have those, right? Like you're gonna have haters. Like I've like go look at your the vlog we uploaded. You have a dislike on it. Like I don't know who
I know,
disliked
right? Like
it.
who the hell disliked it? I think it's actually that one kid that I was telling you about earlier, the one that I had a falling out with. I think it's him.
Oh, okay, probably, yeah. But like still, like you're gonna have people that hate on things. Like like I'll post a edit and it'll get like 2,000 views or something like that on Twitter, and then a bunch of comments, people supporting it, and then you'll have like that one person that's like, "This is fucking shit."
Yeah, and that's the comment that sticks with you too. Like you don't
like,
think about all
gets
the
to
good
you,
comments.
bro.
You should think about that one comment.
It gets to you, and it causes you to sometimes form like a little complex, but like you don't want it to. Like you try to avoid that, but like at the same time, you just gotta turn that negative energy into like drive to get better. Like so. Like, because the goal for everybody is to obviously have your edit look so immaculate and so good that nobody can say bad shit about it. Like, I don't think anybody could ever say anything bad about like Magic Key's edits, except for the fact that maybe you don't know what the fuck's going on. Like,
Lance's stuff is perfect.
and then like
says otherwise deserves the death penalty.
yeah, and then like Illusion, like for example, Illusion, miss Illusion so much. His edits are so like, they're just so clean. Like there's nothing really bad to be said about them. Like that's the kind of the goal is for everybody to get to that point to be known as having edits that are nice or clean or something like that.
Like, unique, because I definitely feel like there's a unique editing style.
Like Lifted 3, legendary.
Even like Iron's montage I really liked, because it was like a different type of vibe. It was like a slow smoothing. It wasn't like drums or like bass or you have
very
a lot
of like EDM, and then you have that song that's super calm and mellow.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well,
it's just about creativity. That's why we're just creatives.
Well, I think that's all the time that we have. Does anyone else have anything they want to say before we end the first ever Just Creatives podcast episode?
Glizzy,
guys.
Okay.
Carp,
dude. Carp.
Okay. Big
carp
booty. Bitches.
Okay. This has been AkumaSlays, Arsious, and Reed. Don't worry about term edits. Thank you guys so much for watching.
All right, I'll catch you guys later. Tune in next week at I don't know whenever.
Yeah,
when we decide to post it.
Yeah, we'll have a guest next week, and let us know like what kind of creative person you want to see on the podcast when we interview him. And yeah, I don't really have to say anything on that.
Pretty big guests lined up, so
yeah, we have a lot of guests lined up. I don't know who's gonna be it next week, because I think one of the guests that we had next week is busy or whatever, so we have to look to see who wants to come in next week, but we'll keep you guys up to date.
I think next week, not Sunday, but
whenever it comes out.
Whenever it comes out.
No, okay, I think eventually we should move to like live streaming it, but I don't know, we'll see.
I don't think we should live streaming it. I don't think that'd be, well, I guess it depends on.
I don't think
most podcasts are live streamed too. No, and that's what I'm saying. If we built up an audience, then like eventually it could be live streamed. But I don't know.
We don't have the mental capacity to live stream.
Yeah, you're right.
All right. Let's say goodbye. Everyone, goodbye. Bye.
All right, later, guys.
Bye.
I literally heard you.
How did you hear me?
My headset's that loud to the point where I could like step
Bro,
away
are
and I
you
still hear you.
deaf?
Literally.
How are you not deaf?
No, I literally have it turned down to the.
Bro, look at me like that one more time.
Where's the G1 merch, man? I heard you were a fan.
It's in my other room.
Look at me like that one more time and I swear.
Man, what the fuck are you gonna do, bitch?
Sir.